All right. It is Tuesday. Now, there's a bit of an issue here, but it's all good. So what happened was I entered into this position and my fucking stop didn't go in. Now, I'm not fully sure why, because I pressed my buy order, I moved my stop, and I didn't move the target. I don't know if it's in this bracket right now that I can move, but that's all good because my stop's in, so I can simply just flatten the trade basically if it comes to my target. So this is the position. Micro E-mini S&P 500 futures. I haven't taken a trade since Monday of last week. Today's Tuesday, so that's like 8 days. Or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks were losers. 2 losers on Monday of 2 weeks ago, and then last week was 1 loser. So I was very patient on this one. I think I entered at 11:26. A lot of chop before that. A lot of bullshit here. That. Okay, so what is it? It's only a 7-point target, but the stop was small, so 2.33 R multiple. Get rid of that. Yeah, so basically if it comes to this, this is my target, 23.50. So if it hits that, I'm basically going to flatten the trade or just cancel it. If I just cancel it, it's the same thing. So if my stop didn't go in, that would be a major issue. But since my stop's in, then it's all good. Okay. Double bottom at a clean level. This actually, so this was a level, and then there was another level all the way to the left. But this one works fine as well. Three-point risk. Four contracts. I think it's like 67.2 risk. Something like that. But either way, it's just another position. It's like whether this wins or loses. It doesn't actually matter to me. I write it down. I'll write down the result, and it goes into the collection of trades for the next whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's just continuous data. I'm not sure why my stop didn't go in though. I don't know if it's because I set it and I didn't move the target. But it's all good. Let's see. Entered at 11:26. So as you're in a trade, you have to have a probability mindset. So let's say I have a win rate of 40%. 40% of the time throughout the entire year, this right here is either going to win or lose. Or 40% of the time it's going to win, right? Let's say it's 40%. That's the mindset that I have when I'm in each position. And there are dry weeks and there are really profitable weeks and everything in between. Entered at 11:26 on this candle. Yeah, so I wouldn't move this stop unless two green candles. So I entered on this 11:25. So then there was an 11:30. So it depends how this one closes, basically. But we sit and wait. It's funny, there's nothing you can really do other than enter in the position and then let the trades collect over time. When I first started trading, I was so mentally invested into each trade. But now it's very data driven. But it took years to convert my mind into that type of thought process. Not just to actually believe it. I went through a phase of actually believing it, or of like understanding it, but my system, when I was in a position that was going to lose, let's say, or was going towards my stop, my hands would clench or my feet would clench, or my breathing would get shallow. But at some point, you can take it with this belief of probability over time, and this result doesn't matter. The result of the next 20, 30, 50 trades, whatever. That outcome matters. It's funny, I actually started by I would be in a trade and I would just look outside because I wanted to stay in reality. When I was in the trade, I didn't want it to consume my mind. So that was kind of like, almost like a training tool for me. And I don't show the entry because I have so many levels that I put for my edge, and a lot of them gets disqualified. So I would have made a video every single day since the last trade that I took. And then I would have deleted it. So for efficiency, I just wait to actually enter a trade, and then I actually, whatever, press record. So, like I said before, let's see where the 5-minute chart is at. So for me to move my stop, it would have to go to at the close at 19, 18.75. Yeah, at the close at 19. And then I can move my stop. 16 is that. I'll put it at 14. Okay, so I'm not moving it. I was supposed to eat at 11 o'clock. It's 11:40 now. The issue was the the market was giving me like not enough room to actually go make food. So there's a lot of waiting and a lot of nothing. The funniest part is that I could have made food, but you never know when the trade actually is gonna get shown. So basically, I'm starving, but it's all good. I'm dieting at the moment, so my diet's almost over. I went from 162. My lowest was 149.4. And we're going to Fire Island as a family. I live on Long Island. So, for anyone that doesn't live on Long Island, which is probably most people, um, there's a place called Fire Island where it's like super exclusive. There's no cars, and you got to take a ferry to get there, pretty much. Um, so my diet's probably going to continue until then. I don't know if I'll hit 148, 147. Depends, because when you get really low in body fat, the body starts to fight you, and just you gotta like weigh out why you're doing it, pretty much, right? Like if I'm not getting on a bodybuilding stage, then it's like, why am I gonna push so low? And yeah, I don't have a target, so I actually gotta cancel this if it hits, which is not ideal, but it's all right. But anyway, I think I'm pretty lean right now. I'm like 8, 9% body fat. So when you start dipping below that, it starts to get a little rough. But I'm increasing my fat intake. Basically, like as you diet, sometimes you end up reducing your fat so low. So the carbs and the fat are low, but I'm bringing my carbs down slightly so that I can have some more fat because fat builds hormones and uh, creates more of a satiety effect or satiety effect, whatever. Insatiety. And slows digestion and all that. It's easier to diet basically for me. 11:43. Okay, so there's one here. There'll be another one here. And it closed above this one. So I would move my stop. 16.75. 14.75. Yeah. Okay, so I moved my stop to 14.75, just a little bit of room under the pullback on the 5-minute chart. And if this is my target, 23.50. So if it hits that, then I'm going to cancel the position basically because I don't know where the flattening button is. I think it's canceling the same shit. Okay, close the position. Let's see where it actually got me out. 7722.75. Okay, so what I got out at 23.50, I got it at 22.75. Whatever, it's fine. I just got to figure out what happened there, why I couldn't actually move my target. Well, there was no target. Yeah, it was still 1 to 2. 1 to 2.08 versus 2.33. 0.75, so it was like $20 per point, right? So was that $15 difference on the profit? Whatever, it's fine. The most important part was that it was still a 1 to 2. My stop went in, and I executed my position. And I got on at 9:30. I waited almost 2 hours, the last 5 minutes of my session. And sometimes that happens, man. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready just in case. Last 2 weeks were slow. Last week on Monday, no, on Tuesday, I think there was a loser. Let's see. August 11th was a loser. Yeah. I've taken 3 trades in August so far, and they were all losers. August 3rd. Right, so two on Monday of 2 weeks ago, 15 days ago, yeah. And then a week ago, August 11th, was a loser. And this was a 1 to 2. The last month or so hasn't been a lot of opportunities. It's been a little dry, choppy, slow, but you just have to understand that you can take your edge, have a really profitable month. You can take your edge, have a really unprofitable month, losing month, right? You cannot take your edge, have a really profitable month. You cannot take your edge, have a really bad month, as in losing month. I don't like to say bad because you could lose and still, like, you executed the trades properly because you're following your edge. It's funny, man. It's like I constantly am telling myself to believe in probability and understand, like, even in a casino, the owner doesn't get worried if he loses 3 nights in a row or if he wins big on 3 nights. He's not like, oh, that's going to keep going. He understands how the distribution is all built in throughout the system thousands of times over and over again. Okay. I think it was 117 profit, 1 to 2. Would have been like 135 profit, but it's all good. Executed well. Had a good mindset in the trade. and then you just keep on waiting for the next opportunities. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I just ate. I did want to say one more thing. I had 3 ounces of beef, popcorn, and some nuts for the fat intake. I want to say one more thing. What was it? Oh, right. Okay. So this is something that I have dealt with mentally that many other traders do for sure. Let's say this trade at the moment, like I got out on like 70% of the move or something like that. Right? Based off my system, this is where I get out. Um, let's say this was like over here, and now you're thinking like, oh, I could have held it way longer. Maybe that isn't the right target. Maybe I got to put the bigger target from now on. But here's what you have to understand is that if you take, let's say you keep that target, the bigger target, maybe you got less than half the move. You don't actually know what that looks like when it comes to probability over 20 or more trades. I'm using 20 as an example just because it's a good amount of trades to get some data. More is better, but 20 is a solid amount. You don't actually know. So let's say maybe out of your 40% win rate, I'm just using that as a number, maybe only 25% of the time it goes way more. But now you're like, oh, I'm going to put my stop there. I'm going to put my target there. And on the other 75% of that 40%, you barely make any profit, break even, or lose. So you're not capitalizing off of the smaller moves. You're waiting for these big winners. And it might be the same edge, if not worse, when it comes to profitability over the long term. The R multiple can't outweigh the big drop in win rate. You don't know that unless you look at your data, though, and have the data. I don't think people even have their data. So maybe it is better, but maybe not. Who knows? You got to look at the data, and you can't go by this like this one. The problem is you're thinking of this one particular trade when you make a decision. If you make a decision off of one trade, the two charts can look the exact same, and one could be a great winner, and one could be instant loser, depending upon news that came out right after you entered, just regular behavior of people. That your edge tells a story. It's a behavior. But once you enter, things happen. People change, their feelings change, news comes out, whatever. Different people are in the position, even if nothing changes, it's different people. So it's not going to be the same thing. You really have to reinvent your mind into thinking in dozens of trades at a time. So that was all that I wanted to say, because that's something that I have dealt with, that I have converted my mind into. You're going to get, most of the trade you're going to get, I don't know, 40 to 70% of the move. You can think of it like that. And then some trades will be big winners. Some trades will be small, or sometimes you'll get a 1 to 10, right? Like 20% or 1 to 10 or 1 to 8, whatever, when it comes to risk to reward. And then maybe the other 20% is 1 to 2, like I had today. And then most of them are like 1 to 3 to 1 to 5, 6-ish. You can think of it like that, and then you can also think of it as some of the trades will go way past your stop loss, and then some trades will not make it there. Maybe you moved your stop and you got like a 1-to-1 out of it. But it's about all of these collected is what it is. That takes years, though, I think, to actually integrate and believe. Not just think you believe it, not just think that you believe it, but it's like really ingrained into your system or your brain. And one more thing. I did lose 3 in a row before this, so I'm pretty much just like the last month is like break even or like barely profitable. It's one of those weird, just one of those like, just like kind of like that time in the market at the moment for my edge. You never know what happens going forward. I'm going to keep taking the trades and there'll be whatever, big profitable months and losing months and break even. I just want to show the reality of like, well, I want to tell you exactly what's happening. It's like, I'm not profitable. I'm not like consistently profitable yet. Like, you know how you have like some profit and then you give it away and then profit. I'm looking for the profit and then like a second wave of profit, you know, and then third, whatever. I finally got my edge down in the beginning of July, well, like mid-July. So I've only had like a month or so, really, of actually knowing it. Like I thought I knew, but now I actually know. So I just need more time, basically.